Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to day 6 of our Microsoft Fabric program. So, we will begin shortly at 7 p.m. We hope you have been enjoying the sessions and are excited to continue your learning journey with us. So, until then, feel to join your friends and classmates to join using the same Zoom link shared with you. And also, before we begin, here are the few important announcements. Please join using only the email ID you used during registration, as attendance will be recorded based on your registered email. Continue using the same Zoom link for all the sessions. And use your chat box only for session related questions and don't spam the chat. So stay until the end of the sessions for important announcement. Thank you everyone. Good evening everyone. A very warm welcome to day 6 of our Microsoft Fabric program. So we will begin shortly at 7 p.m. We hope you have been enjoying the sessions and are excited to continue your learning journey with us. So until then, feel free to invite your friends and classmates to join using the same Zoom link shared with you. So, and also before we begin, here are a few important announcements. Please join using only the email ID you used during the registration, as attendance will be recorded based on your registered email. and continue using the same Zoom link for all the sessions. So use the chat box only for session related questions. Don't spam the chat. Stay until the end of the session for important announcement. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining us. And it's my pleasure to welcome our expert trainer, Mr. Kannaya Kumar, who will continue today's Microsoft Fabric session. Sir, the participants are ready and eager to learn. Over to you, sir. Have a wonderful session.
So, okay. So, hello everyone. We'll wait for next few minutes. Uh, since just around 100 people have joined. So let's continue in next 5 minutes. Okay. Right, so we can start now. Yes, Rajesh. So when you are using Fabric, you may get some this kind of challenges. We'll try to understand these factors, why this kind of message we are getting. So let's continue. I'm going to share my screen now. Yes, so you can see my screen, right? Okay. So we are going to use the Fabric Lakehouse, and which is coming under our Lakehouse. So let's close this, my workspace. And so here, what do we have? So my workspace, if you click on my workspace, here you can see we have created Fabric Lakehouse. Okay. So Fabric Lakehouse, you have to open. Okay. Yes. So as of now, we don't have any file. And so briefly, I'm going to, explore the SQL part, what we have continued last time. Then we'll continue with Python in terms of understanding, PySpark and all. Okay. So yeah. So upcoming sessions, it's going to be mixed in terms of using Fabric workspace, and same time separately we need to understand at least couple of application tools, that is basically SQL, and then you have PySpark and then Power BI. So these are the three tools we have. We need to spend some time on this to understand how it works, and how basically it's relevant to Fabric. So we are going to understand, say each of these tools are very depth. Like if you go for Python, uh, it may take at least 30-35 hours to learn Python itself, when you start from scratch. Even if you go for PySpark, at least 15 to 20 hours you should spend to, learn completely, start to, mid-level PySpark, right? Similarly, for SQL, you need to spend at least 15-20 hours to learn SQL. So that much time definitely not allocated for this course. Understanding that factor, we are going to mix use of all these tools. Okay, but end objective we have to explore Fabric workspace, Fabric data platform, along with, how different other tools actually we are going to interact. So these are the tools, as I said, like Python, PySpark, and then you have SQL, then you have Power BI. All these tools we are going to interact. So same time, I'm going to introduce these tools during these sessions. So order may vary, like suppose if it is fifth session or sixth session, and what we have planned for sixth session, it may differ little bit. It may differ. End of the day, on 14th, 15th day, or third week, actually we are going to consolidate everything. But in between, it may change the order. Why it may change? Because see, we are using Fabric platform, where basically it's based on Azure, right? So certain services in full trial version, sometimes it may work, sometimes it may lag, it might not work. So that is what a screenshot somebody was sharing. So we'll come back to understand detail. It happens when you are using trial version. Okay. Even though if you are using license version, some sort of challenges you may face in terms of running notebook or a Spark, these are the common challenges we face. So you don't need to worry. These are very common things in real time scenario also. But just I'm telling you in terms of like, since we are using trial version, right? So practical challenges, we have this. Just give me a minute. We'll continue with uploading files and continuing for the Spark SQL query. Then we'll come back to Python part. And yes, so just give me a minute. We'll continue from this part here. Okay. Okay. So we are going to just drag, since Fabric Lakehouse, we have created under one lake under my workspace. Okay. So let me go through once again, because in beginning it's always confused a lot. I'll just close this and go to home. So this is how it looks like when you open your Fabric data platform, right? And then see, under one lake catalog also, you will get what you have created. So you can see whatever we have created under one lake catalog, lake house, that is visible here. So that is, you can see here, Fabric Lake House. This is under workspace, my workspace. And this is a learning. You can use any of this, or as many as you want to create, or if you want to delete, all these options you have. And say here itself, you have option to create a event house, new semantic model for Power BI reports and all. Various other things are there which we are going to understand. So these settings are more important, for this course. Whatever some settings and things we are exploring, uh, excluding much focus on coding, I mean to select SQL or Python or Power BI related stuff. That is a secondary for data platforms. Secondary in terms of when you have to learn, data platform, right? So primary goal is to understand how this data platform works, right? And some basic knowledge definitely required for exploring this data platform. Not only Fabric, but even though if you use Databricks or Snowflake or any other data platform, that is very important. So in interviews also, when you go for Fabric developer or architect role, so as a beginner, after this course, you're going to pursue for Fabric administrator or developer role, where people is going to ask more about this lake house, one lake, and the settings, whatever we are exploring. that part. And then actually they will look into your SQL skills and PySpark, Python. Um, Depends, like if you have R or Scala knowledge, they are going to test those things. So that is a secondary skill. Primary skill is that, you should know, because why now you can understand that the earlier approach, like 10 years back or 15 years back, why people were more focused in terms of your SQL queries. Even today also depends upon the role, kind of role you are applying for. First prime, goal is going to be like understanding your knowledge on programming as well as, SQL knowledge, right? But when you are using data platform here, SQL is a secondary, because unless you have good knowledge on SQL, you may not be able to use effectively data platform, any of data platform. Either it's a Databricks or Snowflake or Fabric, and many others are there. Because reason is, you should understand the architecture, which is really bit complex here when it comes to defense services, and when it comes to cost factor in terms of services and processes. So that is one of the critical thing for companies. uh, and that is the reason businesses are choosing these data platforms. So which data platforms for which project, which kind of project, it's going to be beneficial for them. If Fabric is not beneficial for a particular business, they will choose Databricks over Fabric, right? So again, probably we'll try to understand the what kind of project actually people are working on Fabric, as well as peers like Databricks or Snowflake. So that is also very critical understanding when it comes to leadership role. But even as a beginner, if you have some clarity, it's going to be very much helpful. When it comes to programming, that is, there is no second thought that you should be decent. When it comes to SQL queries, that is also definitely there is no second thought. They are going to consider that you have excellent knowledge on that part. But even though when it comes to like in SQL, queries out of 5, if you are 3 or 3.5, they may consider. But when it comes to understanding the entire ecosystem of Fabric or any Databricks, any data platform, how this architecture works, how these compute engines, uh, you know, performs and works altogether, including security part, that is also almost equivalent to your programming or SQL knowledge. Both are definitely programming, just SQL or Python. But data platforms are more relevant to basically SQL. They are more, actually, companies going to be more focused towards your SQL knowledge than programming like Python. But yes, secondary choice is programming like Python or PySpark, but primary goal when it comes to initial level of a role, like as a junior developer or just a developer, even a senior developer role also, they are going to focus more in terms of your SQL knowledge. Okay. So fine, let's move. So this is a structure we have under one catalog, and our Fabric Lakehouse, we have this part. We are going to open this. As of now, you see, we don't have anything here. So we are going to load the file here. So let me open this. You can try to explore each of these settings, what it means, most of the things you're going to understand. Gradually, I'm going to cover up almost everything relevant to your end-to-end project. Okay, so we will come back to these parts again, sequence, endpoint and all. But meanwhile, so this is a connection string. This is required to connect with any other tool like Power BI or let's say Tableau or Clicker, sorry, Looker, then you have Click, many are there. So this is a connection string for Fabric Lakehouse under one catalog. This is a lakehouse you have created, Fabric underscore Lakehouse, and this is a connection string to connect with any other tool. This is very much recommended to use for semantic models and all. Okay, in real time. Many other approaches are there, but this is the most important. Uh, so, and even basically, when it comes to reliable connection, then this is the part we should use. We'll come back to when we are going to perform end-to-end project. Then this is the connection string we are going to use. So before that, you have multiple things. That's what we are performing now. So let's move to open. And as of now, we don't have any files, we don't have any tables, right? So we are going to just import the data and get data. So here you have option upload files. Other options are also there. We are going to come back most of these options, how we are going to use it. At least these two are very important: upload files or new data for Gento, even new copy job. So yeah, some of these options will explore, but the rest all it's depends how time allows us. So this option is about overwrite if file already exists. That means any file is already available, and again you are uploading that file, it will overwrite. Existing one is going to be overwrite. So as of now, we don't have anything, so just we'll select the file. So the other CSV file we have uh, here under project on datasets. I'm going to choose this customers and upload. So this is uploaded. You can see here we have this one. Fine. So now let's use the new Spark SQL query to access this file, right? So here we just use new Spark SQL query, and you can write your SQL queries, Spark SQL. So you can start from select a star from. So it's a CSV, right? So CSV dot and under single quote. So to give files, and file name is basically customer. One second. Sorry. So files, and then customer is the file name, customer dot CSV and single quote. Then at end you have to have semicolon. Mm. So somewhere we are getting. Oh, it's a customers, right? So sorry. And no, it should be fine. Yes. So here you can see how we are accessing table. Right. Now, next, we need to convert into. So, see, this is not a single quote, no? But let me try with single quote also. No, it will not work. So, what is going to work? Basically, you have, uh, let me show you on a screen because it will confuse for many. So, this is a apostrophe. You need to use this one actually, not this single quote. Okay. So if you use this one, then it's going to work. Okay. So I'm going to use this one and let's see here. Oh, fine. I'm going to type that, but you should use that one. After CSV dot, you should use that. So this is exactly, you can fetch the table, whatever you have in Lakehouse, right? Next, we need to convert this into basically delta table. So let's do that. So now I'm converting. So another thing, like one query you can run at a time. So it's not like multiple queries you can run in same notebook. So each query you need to run separately at a time. It's not like together you can run multiple queries. Okay. So that is the reason basic understanding of SQL queries is very important, that how you can write lengthy program altogether to run your pipelines. And here, so not for testing purpose but execution purpose, testing purpose or exploring things, all actually should write into SQL Server or SSMS. Here This part is uh, see PySpark works for, fine. But when it comes to Spark SQL, this is like you have to use separately. So let's create now a delta table from the lakehouse, whatever we have CSV file. So create table, let's say customer, okay, using delta, delta as, let's say select a star from CSV dot, again to have this and CSV, okay. So files slash. So when it comes to connections and all, it's going to work smoothly, but this part is also important because not every case is going to be like this, like connections only. So we are starting from scratch, just uploading file and then performing all those things. So same thing you are going to perform using the connections also, whether it's like SQL connections or any connections, APIs and all, queries and all, it works same way, doesn't matter. So we are starting from this step, but gradually we will, we are going to use, like SQL Server, or for me, I'm prefer to use SQL Server. If you want to use other database or other things, you can use it. Because I cannot install multiple applications, and that's fine. If you know for one application like SQL Server and all, it's going to be smooth for you for others also. Customers.csv, and that's all. So no errors, and we can exclude this. Okay, so there is no error, executed perfectly, and so still it is not showing the table. So probably it may take some time to load this. Okay. So I'm going to refresh. Yes. So when we have refreshed, so this is how it happens. Like what we did, it was working fine, but when we, you know, but it's not like immediately you are getting the outcome. So now this is a delta table we have created from our files customers.csv. So now this is going to work like a SQL table, and you perform everything whatever you want. Okay. Under files, you have this, and then this is a delta table which you can use it. You have file view, table view, both you have. Okay. So when it comes to showing it's 1,000 rows, it's fine. So let's move further. So header here you can see underscore C0, then underscore C1, C2, C3, and C4. Then you have, yeah, up to C4, right? So let's uh, convert into basically main header. So we are going to run again here Spark SQL query and so create table customers. So when tab is not working, generally it works in SQL. That's the reason I said like using uh, SQL Server is more, and definitely I'm going to like I just said like how we are going to use SQL Server offline, and same thing sync with your notebook. So that is also we are going to perform. Don't worry. So it's not about only SQL Server, but even for PySpark also. So you write offline codes. It's going to be very flexible for you to use all the keywords and the way actually you do the programming. And the same thing we sync with your cloud. So that is how it works in real time. So we'll come back to those things slowly. So customers as and next is select and underscore C0. So C0 is nothing but the column 0, right? So C0 as, let's say, customer ID. Next, let's say underscore C1 as it's going to be customer name. Just 1 minute. So next we have underscore C2 as, let's say, it's a contact form. And we have underscore C3 as, it's a reason form underscore C4 as industry. So last one, we should keep it as it is, then form. Same thing, what we have done, dot, where C0 not equal to customer ID. Hmm. So there is some error. Let's check. Okay, so it will not create because already we have a table. Okay, so you can see here table or view already exist. But when say previous queries what we have written in terms of creating a table. So instead of that, if you want to create a table with which should have proper headers like first, like it should be customer ID, customer name. Here it should be. So yeah, but already it's created, so not working. So what we can do, we can just change the table name. Yes. So it has created, and if you refresh, then it's going to work. So while loading, it may take some time. So again, uh, just you can look into this code. This is again very simple. And so when we refresh, then it's going to load it, customer one. Or you can go back to, let's say, mm, refresh. Yeah. So now you can see either you can refresh from here or you can refresh from here also. Then it's fine. You can see now this is a proper, right? So now go to queries and another few queries how actually so right. So let's say so tables. So you can see these are the tables we have. So this is just a verification of table. If you want to describe, if you want, so you can type describe customers. Any table you can choose. Uh, right. So here you can see it's all a string and customers. Instead of customers and comment it's on null. So data type you have a string and if you choose customer one, then you see instead it's all a string. Right. So generally, if you see the table, in this case, everything is a string. It's fine. There is not required like any different data type, right? So this is how you can use describe, select from customers, select queries. Again, as it is, you can use it. We have used earlier. Select a star from customer one or you can see here. This is your. So this is how basically you can perform some basic things when it comes to connecting, your data set and performing some queries. So definitely, as I said earlier, like you need to focus more on SQL queries. So this is something basics I can tell you, or if you want me to go through further deep, I will show you some example. Okay, so let's say select customer ID. The problem is here, it doesn't work like, the way we use uh, in SQL queries. In SQL Server, here you have to type it very like, it's a bit boring. So customer name, so see, it works same way like how you use SQL query, right? Similar, same query, right? Now let's say distinct values. So just I'll give you a few examples. Rest all you need to improve on that. Like whatever we are doing, since we are not going after SQL classes, so it is just a head start, like how you're going to use SQL with Fabric. So that is just head start. It's not SQL class. So further you need to work on that and improve as much as you can, do it right. So select distinct reason, reason, um, string. So see here you have distinct reason, right? Similarly, if you want to do the filter, you can apply filter. So let's say select star one, one, uh, reason equal to list. So here you can see this is the table. So this is how actually you can write the query, and then you have option to download as a CSV, JSON, XML. All the options are there. You see 5 columns, 491 rows. So let's do some more exercise in terms of multiple condition. This is a filter how you can use it. Then when it comes to multiple conditions, then select a star, um, stars, mm, the reason equal to is to, and then another condition you want to use, that is and industry equal to healthcare. Reason is to, you can see, and industry, you have healthcare, right? So, right. So similarly, we can go for let's say some other examples. Select count just from customers number of rows. This is so this is the catch. So you, as I said, like you can run multiple queries together. So already we have a query, And then we are running this one. That is the reason we are getting this error. So now if you run, simplify. So number of rows, you can see count you have both rows. Now let's say group by select a reason. So group by select reason. Anything we can get industry reason or let's reason. So you can see each of the region, whatever number of rows you have. Right. So this is how you can use group by. Each of the example is really important. So this is again very basics. I'm going up to very fundamentals, very basics because understanding the audience, different audience, like background. I'm not getting into complex from beginning itself, but further session when we go through various other topics, I may not get into these basic things like basic, but those queries definitely I'm going to explain you, but it may be bit advanced or mid-level. So you may catch up some of most of I think most of you will catch up, but few may not catch up also because this itself may be a bit difficult to understand if you don't have any background in SQL or if you're not a started SQL, then this itself is going to be a bit difficult. So we'll keep it as simple only. Let's say another example. Uh, like having select reason count swing profile reason having count greater than let's say some number like 15. Okay, so fine, I'll check. Let's continue after a break. So I'll continue in next 10 minutes. As of now, it's 8:01. We are going to continue by 8:10. So let's have a break and then we'll continue. Tony, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we'll just have a break and then we'll continue. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, sorry for delay. Okay, so we can continue now. Fine. So it's fine. Like somebody has commented that there was some column extra mentions that after count mention. Yeah, you were right. So I have fixed it and it works. So this you can see here, this is for greater than 10. Okay. So selecting a reason from customer's phone for counting rows and group by reason. So greater than 10, all the reasons you can see this is the name. Right. So various actually queries you may have in SQL. It's a very popular that you can write. I mean, so many complex queries you have for the CTAs, uh, views, procedures, many things are there. So that part we are not going to cover up because time will not allow. So we are just ending up here. And next we'll look after the notebook. So let me see. See, somebody has messaged that about some errors you were getting, right? This is somewhere, yeah. So it happens with when you use trial version. So sometimes it will not connect, okay? Because we are using trial version, it may not connect. So if it connects, fine. If it doesn't connect, no issues. So you have various options. All these options you can use it. Scala, SQL, Spark R, Python, T-SQL, many are there. All of this you can use, all these tools, okay? So some basics of Spark SQL we have covered. And even we are going to cover up this T-SQL at analytics endpoint. Including Python pandas and all, while creating some orchestrator or audit log quality, report and all. So during that, we are going to explore related to Python and SQL, almost, yeah, all these tools we are going to use. But Spark, I know R, but that is, I'll not recommend to go through. Suppose if you're going for Python, both are similar, very much similar. R has some advantage in terms of like quality calculations when it comes to statics, mathematical calculations. R has some advantage over Python, but Python is again uh, very popular in terms of analytics. Little bit, say it's not too much. In certain calculations, R is going to give you more accurate calculation than Python. So that is the only advantage you have in terms of using R. Some other features are also there with R, which is really interesting. Uh, but doesn't matter. Say you have so many tools are there. You cannot be perfect in every tool, and probably you will not know all the tools. It takes years to get experience in one tool, right? So better to focus on just to have as a beginner, uh, like where exactly you should spend some time. That is the reason I'm going to I don't know a scalar, but I know R. I can get into this, but still I'm going to avoid this part. But SQL we have just covered. This part we are going to cover up, and even this one. this part. Okay. So here, see, when we try to connect, sometimes you may get see session error. So actually, I'm getting this error since today evening, and since we are using trial version, it will happen. Okay. So it's a very common issues we may face. So we can avoid this. Okay. When it's successful in terms of connecting, so eventually it's not today, then tomorrow. Definitely it's going to work. Don't worry. Even though in worst case it doesn't work during our session, till 14th. Uh, I'm going to use, this basically VS Code. You have option to use VS Code, right? So I'll use VS Code and, show you that how we can do it. Uh, Fine. So meanwhile, it's not connecting. We are getting some error. So we can cover up this Python, PySpark, probably tomorrow. We'll look into tomorrow if it works fine. If not, whenever it works, I'm going after basics of this. Meanwhile, I will cover up some other tool which you need to go after. That is the Power BI. So Power BI is also one of the tool you need to cover up in this uh, in this fabric session. So that is again basics only. So first thing what you have to do, go to Microsoft Store. Let's type store. You'll get Microsoft Store. And here you can search Power BI desktop. So Power BI desktop is free. I'm going to explain everything here about Power BI. Briefly, today, as well as tomorrow, first hour, we are going to focus on this part. Then if Python, if this session is getting connected, then I'll show you the example of PySpark also. Similarly, how we have used uh, Spark SQL. Okay. Then we will come back to our, the theory part, theory as well as practical, how it's connected in process, where we have stopped earlier. Okay, from there, we are going to continue from there. Meanwhile, just wanted to cover up some basics of these tools. So further session is definitely related to these tools only. So whatever I'm going to perform, it's going to be some familiarity you will have that, okay, you're getting connected to those activities. Okay, so that is the reason we are just looking after that. Okay, so let's go. Yeah. So since I have already installed, so it is showing open. You will get a get option. So you need to click on get. It's going to download and install. Very simple and it's a free. So don't need to worry about anything else. And just to download, install it. It's free. So I'm going to open Power BI here and new one, new page. So basically, Power BI is a BI tool, which is a product of Microsoft, and it is developed for purpose of in terms of creating dashboards and reports. So first, actually, they have introduced in 2010 as a add-in in Microsoft Excel. So in Excel sheet, actually, you have add-ins and all. So if you go for option, you will find add-ins. So as a add-in, they have introduced Power BI for 365. So that was the beginning in 2010. Later on, they have introduced Power BI desktop, I think around 2013. Okay, 13 or 14 they have introduced. But immediately after 1 year, they have introduced as a separate application. That is the Power BI desktop. And so assume it has started from 2013-14. And not assuming, but exact date I'm not telling. And so that is the reason I'm telling you that consider it's starting from 13-14. And definitely between that year only it has started. And when it comes to improvements over next few years, actually it has become very popular. But same time, one of the other application, Tableau, was emerging, BI tool around 2015, 14, 15. So Tableau was already market leader by that time, and Microsoft always bit behind. But competition was very intense because something new tool actually they have introduced in market. Even Tom also like BI Tom is not like very new, but people were using like Excel sheet or even Python or Java, C programmings for even BI activities. But when it comes to Power BI or Tableau, it's very simple. You have to just drag and drop as a like non-technical developer, non-technical individual. You can simply create a report using Power BI, even Tableau also. So Tableau, ClickView, Looker, all these tools are very simple in terms of creating reports. But there is definitely depth. Uh, Starting is very simple. Learning curve is very simple. So everybody can learn it very easy way. But when it comes to, like advanced activities, so when it comes to like visuals, so when you see here visuals, so these are the common visuals we have, but there is 150 types of visuals. 150 types of visuals are there. And you might be thinking like, generally we use hardly 10, 15 types of visual maximum as an analyst or data scientist. But I mean, why there is a 150 types of visuals? So that is basically every visual is based on statics, mathematics. So mathematics or statics is very huge subject, and even machine learning is also came from statics, right? So statics, machine learning is called like a child of statics. And when you use machine learning, then it's not only statics, but various other branch of mathematics we are using for different kind of calculations and all, right? So based on these calculations, largely statics, uh, these visuals are really, these visuals has a root with static. Like you have Google Map, uh, various maps are there, right? So these maps are also on mathematics, based on mathematics. You understand like you have basically when you create map, it's about some codes are there, longitude and latitude, right? So based on longitude, latitude, and behind that, actually, if you look into mathematics, it's a huge. So only I wanted to say that all the visuals are based on mathematics and statistics, and most of the data scientists or analytics, maximum they use like 10 to 15 visuals. Most of the people, I can tell you, most of the people use just 10 to 15 visuals. So no need to worry in terms of number of visuals, but activity, what you perform for that, whatever visuals you need, that is the important factor. So these are the basic visuals we have. But when you have to create visuals, so quickly I will go through this Power BI. So first thing you have home. Under home, you have get data. So if you are using Excel sheet, you can just connect with Excel sheet. If you have some other, if you are using other data source, applications and all, right, where your data is stored, like SQL Server, you can use SQL Server. So when you click on SQL Server, or any database, basically, it is going to ask the server name. Here you can see you have to just give server name. That's all. It's going to connect your database with the Power BI. It's as simple as it is. Okay. Database name and all, it's all optional. Import and direct query is basically when you use import, your data is getting imported into Power BI desktop. So your data lands here in Power BI desktop. But when you use direct query, your data won't land here. It's going to stay in SQL Server itself. Any database you use, it's going to stay over there itself. But still, you will be able to create reports from the data. So that is very interesting because Power BI Desktop, again, it's a kind of platform. When you use here, thousands of rows or millions of rows, it's going to stuck, or your basically report is going to be slow, your refresh is going to be very slow. So thing is, how best way you can use the data and data, basically in Power BI Desktop, that is also very important. And for that matter, this would use SQL Server as a data source when it comes to basically using whether import or direct query. See, a small data set, like assume you have just 10, 50, 100 rows, use import. And when you have like millions of rows, right? In that case, you use direct query. So suppose if you know the star schema or snowflake schema, so dimension tables, basically, you should use as the import mode. And when it comes to fact table, so a star schema, hope, I think, I don't know, but I'll tell you basically a star schema is nothing but basically it looks like a star. Okay. In center, it's going to be fact table and it's going to be surrounded by dimension tables. So for example, uh, see, when you have regular numeric transaction in any data, for example, sales. So sales is basically very common, common activity in any business, right? Any business you do, sales is part of that, right? And when sales happens, then numeric values are part of it, right? Numeric, so a revenue, a transactions is going to happen, right? So that is a mandatory. 100% is going to, end result is that, some financial transaction happens, right? So that is numeric values. And, for sales, you need to have all the, details like customer details. You need to have product details. You need to have a person who is, doing like salesperson. You need to have region like whether it's APAC, North America, Europe. All those information is going to land in sales table, right? So, but same time, dimension table is going to be just a categorical. For example, let's say customer. So customer is not going to be like very regular transaction. Like every day you have some new customer. So you have number of customer and gradually it increase or decrease. So that is the table relate, that is going to be dimension table. When it comes to date, so date is also going to be dimension table. When it comes to like a reason is also going to be a dimension table. But when it comes to sales, it's going to be fact table where regular transaction happens. Numerical, values are basically uh, transacted, right? So that is how actually we create data model. We will discuss more about this star schema during our some capstone project or some other activity what we have in further session. But briefly, just wanted to tell you how this is going to be impactful, useful when you use import and directory. So import is generally just think about dimension table. When it comes to fact table, use directory. So both approach is called like a composite model. When you use both model, then it's called a composite model. So that is what actually interviews also they are going to check in terms of how it's not about the process or usage, how you use a Power BI or how you use any application related to data platform or all these tools. But end of the day, actually they are going to focus on optimization part. They're going to focus on a speed part, right? So if you have to, I mean, if you have to create a, you know, well optimized report. So this is the approach like a composite model we use. We'll come back to these things during semantic model again and do it practically. Okay. Meanwhile, if you want, you can explore this. Further, we can write SQL queries here also. So what exactly data you need from a table when you connect a SQL Server database here. So assume like in database, you have millions of rows every day, I mean, huge transactions are happening, but at the end of the day, you need some specific report, a specific columns or a specific report. So using SQL statement, you can create, you can write those statements here itself. So it's going to fetch based on your queries, what exactly you need in Power BI. So that is again optional. It's not mandatory. See, this part is also optional. This is also optional. Only server name you need. Further, it's going to connect with the import or direct query. And just you need to choose the tables which you need, right? Fine. So quickly, I'll go up to Excel table first. So I have financial sample here. Open. So now you see in Excel, we have here table one and then sheet one, sheet two, sheet three. So in Excel, generally each of the file you may have multiple sheets, right? So in Excel again, you have two factor like this is a normal range. Whatever you see, this is a normal range. But same thing, like this is the data something which we have and we can convert into table. So that option here you have just to click on table and it's going to convert. My table has headers. Okay. So now this is a table. So when you import this particular sheet, then in Power BI, it is going to say show you table name and sheet one. So in both case, you will be able to see what you have in table like this one. As well, see in normal range, everything you will be able to see. So when we see here Excel sheet, whatever you see, everything is going to be there under sheet one, normal range. But when we select a table, it's going to show only this part. This is a table in Excel sheet. Okay. And here you can see when you create a table, then table design is there. You can further, do some activities. And outside when you click this data, see the table design is not there, right? So this is why actually here it shows table and sheet one, sheet two, sheet three. So mostly we should even you can see the icon of both, here it's different, right? When it comes to normal range. So always we should choose table because it's well organized. And then here you have some three option load. So it's going to load into Power BI desktop. Okay. Second option, you have transform data. It's going to open into Power Query Editor. Cancel will discard it. So I'll go first to transform data. So now you can see our table is opening into Power Query Editor. So Power Query is basically a backend tool of Power BI Desktop. It's a backend tool. Now, this is basically called, you have this tool in Fabric also by different name. When we say data flow Gen 2, that is nothing but a Power Query. So little bit we will spend some more time here. So when you're familiar here in offline version of Power Query, and definitely we need Power BI Desktop. For Power BI Desktop also you need this. So we'll try to spend some time on this to understand in detail. So this is a very low code. You don't need to write a programming for this. Most of the activity you can perform without writing code. But here you have option to code also. That is you have two options. Use coding where basically when you're performing some advanced activity like advanced data transformation. But when it comes to basic data transformation, you can use just this GUI buttons. And these buttons are very simple. Like let's say this is the country product discount bar. Right click and remove. Here you have option to remove columns, reduce rows. So if you go after just exploring these tabs and buttons, you will find it's very simple. Just you need to click it and you can just perform these activities. So if I remove this column, just click on remove columns, it's removed. Now, another advantage of using Power Query is it's very dynamic. Definitely someone who have either background, like a technical background or not, and if they are getting into Fabric or let's say Databricks or any data platform, they should definitely know this Power Query if you are into Microsoft ecosystem. Because Power Query is available in Excel also. You can use it in Excel. You can use it in Power BI desktop. You can use it in Power BI services. You can use it again in Power BI, in Fabric as a data flow gen 2. So multiple places you can use this Power Query, which is very popular for low code activities. If you have to perform, low code or no code, in that case, this is a straightforward. You know the Fabric, how it works, start to end, how actually it works. And end of the day, if you don't have technical background, coding, programming background, you can just use Power Query to perform most of your common activities. When it comes to advanced activities, you have option to do the programming here again using R programming as well as Python programming. You can use Python for advanced analytics and all, R for same purpose. Okay. Further, you have few things here under applied steps. So every activity you perform in Power Query, it's going to be recorded. So source, you can see here, when you see here, source, this is a source, right? And this code is generated automatically. We have not written this code. Next, it's about navigation. So navigation is also happen automatically. We have selected table and this code has been generated. Similarly, change type. This is a data type. So whatever you see here like ABC, this is a data type of text. When you move to some, this is whole number, right? Similarly, you will find a icon of, this is a decimal, let's say 1.2. So if date column is there, you'll find this symbol. So these are data types. Again, by default, it's a getting detected. We don't need to basically apply. We have not selected here these data types, right? So by default, you are going to select, by default, it's going to detect these data types. Next, now I have removed a column that is a discount band. See, for that also a code has been generated. They have not written that code. And these codes, if you want to see together, you can go to home and here you have advanced editor. So advanced editor contains all the codes, whatever you perform under applied steps. For each of the activity, a line of code has been generated. These codes are called M language. Okay, so this is a functional language, very simple, and you can use even this language for programming purpose, data transformation purpose in Power Query, or you can say data flow, Gen 2, in Fabric. So in both places, you can use this M language. Okay. Further, definitely you have choice of using Python, PySpark, SQL, and all, right? But this is very much embedded into Power Query, and yes, you can use it. Fine. So after importing the data, here some various activity you can perform. Uh, so so these are some basics. Like say, you can try to perform like replace values, something like just some dirty data, you can import it here and try to clean it. I will perform some activities again tomorrow on using some data sets, some different data sets. Probably I'll try to use SQL Server. So it's going to be very much helpful how to create connections and all. Right. So once your data is clean, so this is a tool for ETL purpose without code or very low code, right? Same time, you have option to perform Python, so you can do even advanced ETL in Power Query itself. Okay, so that is the optional and easy choice when we begin with data analytics or data engineering. Next, everything is done. Just close and apply. So all the changes will apply, and it's going to load into Power BI desktop. The loaded. So here you can see under data section, this table one. So table one under data section, you can see this is table name. You can rename. Just double click, or here you have option three dot. Rename. Multiple options are there. Delete and all, hide. Various options are there, right? Then these are the columns. This sigma indicates these are the numeric columns. This indicates it's a date column, right? And when you don't have any symbol, that means it's text. So now it's very simple. Just select here sales, for example, and let's say product. So these two I have selected and a visual has been created. It's just getting created, right? So now important part is here that creating visual is very simple. We have created it. Other options you can just try to explore. This is focus mode, right? And most important part you have, that is the formatting. After creating, after getting here, basically you have option to format it. These formatting options are also very simple. I want to just explore this, go after each of the option, and you'll find like increase, decrease the font size, some very basic things like here bold, and if I increase the font, you can see font is increased and it's bold. you have option to change the color, right? You can choose the different color, see the color. So likewise, you can do the formatting for visuals. And for this, you don't need like extra session. You can just explore yourself to create these visuals, like just a practice. As much as you do the practice, you're going to be master. See, data labels were not there. Now here you can see data labels. Just need to select data labels. Now it's very small, right? So you can do the formatting here under values. Again, font size you can increase. Now see, it's bigger. And then units. So by default, it's in millions. You can change it to like thousands, billions, trillions, all these options you have. By default, it will, take it like most suitable units. But again, you have option to change it. Then color, you can change it, color, everything. You can just do the formatting. That's all. So likewise, I want you to do some practice. A few examples I'll show you more in terms of creating connections as well as some activities. So if you put little bit effort, you're going to be familiar with this Power BI also without like definitely it's not full-fledged course of Power BI, so we cannot spend much time. But few things I'm going to cover up, which will just give you head start here also. Okay. So this is how you can create, do the formatting, focus on all the options, go after each, apply. You will see the changes here. By that, actually, you can learn it quickly. Okay, it's not too complex, but easy. Okay. So this is Power BI. Here you see this is the report view we have. Next you have table view. So here you can see the data what we have loaded into Power BI desktop. You can see this is the data, right? Further, you have calculation option. You can use the DAX for calculation. So here you have, so we'll cover up this part tomorrow in terms of DAX, few examples, as well as in Power Query also. Again, if you have to go back Power Query, here you have option for transform data. Let's click on this and you're back to Power Query. So you can perform again something or whatever changes you want to do the changes and then close and apply, go back to Power BI desktop. So some activities will perform again tomorrow here. Today it is just a little bit overview. Similar way, just because generally if you have to learn Power Query, sorry, Power BI, it may take 25 to 30 hours, you know, step by step, all the topics, and right. So hardly we are covering, overview for all these tools, some basic introduction, 1 hour or 1.5 an hour maximum for each of these tools. So do not expect too much. But as much as we have flexibility, we are just covering those part. So it's going to be like a head start for you, and major focus is going to be fabric only. Okay. So we are going to continue from here in terms of understanding other things briefly. That here also you have data model, how actually we create data models, and we are not going to create here, but at least you have some view. Um, that's all a little bit we can focus here. We cannot get into any particular topic too much depth. Just a basic, like some basic ideas I can tell you. So when it comes to creating overall project. So whatever we are going through on 14th and 15th day, you will have capstone project where you will have a dashboard here, right? So this is the objective that when you have some flexibility in terms of usage of this tools like Power BI or Python, Spark or SQL. So just as a beginner, you'll have the idea about it, like how you can use the SQL, how you can use Python, what is the main purpose, or how we use one lake, data lake, or various other services you have in Fabric along with these tools, right? So end of the day, you will have the project here as a like the dashboard, which is going to be end result on Fabric data platform. So we are going to perform data engineering in Microsoft Fabric and analytics using Power BI. Again, this is going to be published in Fabric itself. We are doing this reporting or analytics, some activities here, but dashboard like you have some 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. All the pages of reports and analytics going to be published in Fabric itself. So in Fabric itself, you will have everything. We have, multiple tools, but it's all connected to, or it's already there in Fabric itself. Now, you may have question that why we use separately this Power BI desktop. No, we are not going to use separately this Power BI desktop. This is for only for your comfort, like you should be comfortable to use the tool. So you can just start exploring, but the same Power BI we are going to use in Fabric itself, not separately. So that is why Fabric is a unified data platform, one single unified data platform for analytics and data engineering. So further, I'll look into some questions what you have, and we'll continue tomorrow. Um, yes, so we have imported data from Excel. I'll show you tomorrow for SQL also. Uh, yes, data also you will be getting tomorrow. You can get the data from your LMS portal. Okay, I think my volume is maximum. Yes, you can see maximum. Yes. I think you need to work around something on your volume. Uh, can you? Okay. Fine. So most of the questions is related to about LMS portal. Uh, right. So Tony, it's all over to you. We are, yeah.
Yes, sir. So, can you finish the session?
Yeah. So I have concluded for today. We are going to continue tomorrow with again, we'll try for, PySpark. If session is
Yes, sir.
getting connected, we'll use that. Else we will continue with Power BI and
Okay.
resume our Fabric thing. So as and whenever it works, that PySpark session on
Uh-huh.
Fabric, then I'm going to introduce that part also. Otherwise, meanwhile we can use as it is Fabric. Don't worry, it works just for trial version. Sometimes we get this kind of error, but eventually it's getting fixed. No issues. Okay, it's not fault
Okay, sir.
from our side. It's from Microsoft side, and only reason is about trial. We are using trial. Okay, so yes, Tony. So I have concluded from my side. You can just conclude it, and then we'll connect tomorrow for further session.
Okay, sir. So, as we come to the end of day 6 of our Microsoft Fabric program, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed trainer, Mr. Kanaya Kumar, for another informative and engaging session. Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge, practical insights, and expertise with all of us. So, I would also like to thank all our participants for your active participation and enthusiasm throughout today's session. Your dedication and commitment to learning are truly appreciated. And before we conclude, here are a few reminders. Please complete the feedback form if it has been shared in the chat. And it will only open till 9:30 p.m. So be sure you fill all the details. Continue using your registered email ID for attendance. So join tomorrow's session using the same Zoom link. We look forward to welcoming you all day 7 tomorrow at 7 p.m. for another exciting day session for Microsoft Fabric, and have a wonderful evening. Stay safe and keep learning. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow. Thanks, Tony. Bye.